just as the weather starts getting nice, you start noticing that discoloration on your house, that green or black mold and mildew, and it's gross and you got to take care of it. Early on in my channel, I did a review of this stuff called Mold Armor, Easy House Wash. It's gotten a few views, and maybe you've seen it. When I was out doing some gardening recently and trimming some bushes, I noticed on the side of my house this black and green mess. Check it out. It's a hot mess, right? And it came up almost out of nowhere. Today we're going to be looking at a product called Wet and Forget. I had a lot of people talk about this, so I was interested to try it out. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. My channel is dedicated to reviewing mostly as seen on TV items. I look at some consumer gadgets, other household items. Once in a while, I do a little bit of a DIY just because I like to. If that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and click the bell below so you're notified every time I release a video just like this one. Now, let's go try out some of this Wet and Forget. Don't forget to use your safety glasses, it's very important, and see if it helps us out. The first thing we do is we hook the hose to the Wet and Forget bottle. Inside here you notice that there's a rubber gasket, which is nice so you can prevent leaks. So you just stick it on the front and this part here just twists. And there we have it, a nice tight bond. I wanted to show you the different settings. I don't know if you can see that. Right now it's in the off position, but I can turn it, this dial here, and it's got like a light spray and then a heavier spray and then all the way up to a pretty strong blast. And if I were to continue turning it is where you would see it's on, shooting out the Wet and Forget. Let's turn it back off and we're going to go apply it to the house. Alright, so I should say that I purchased the Wet and Forget for about $30, and that's 1.5 quarts or 48 ounces. I will leave a link down in the description if this is something that interests you. So the directions tell us to spray this product directly on a dry surface. Do not pre-wet the surface as some other products request. This one's a dry surface and you let it dry. Do not spray it off. As I just showed you, it has a feature where you can turn the water sprayer on. It's just water. And the purpose of that is to spray your shrubbery or any plants you might have around just so they don't get impacted by spraying this on. I just wanted you to know that. I'm hoping you can see in the shade here what I'm talking about. There's like this green stuff on the siding. Yeah, you can see it there. That's what I'm looking to spray off. I used a product last year called Mold Armor Easy Off, and I like it, but I wanted to test out this. So we're going to spray this on and hopefully get rid of all this. I have the fan arm on right now, and what I can tell when I'm spraying this is it actually looks like it's soapy on here. That's kind of cool. So what I'm just doing is just getting all of this that I can. One coat, and they say you're supposed to be able to check it in a few days and see what happened. This is not instant or immediate. Just to get a nice coat over everything that needs to be. All right. I think that looks good, so what we'll do is we'll check back in a day or so to see if it made a difference. I know you can't tell distances really on the camera, but they say with the jet nozzle, which is what I have it on now, it can shoot about 30 feet, which I would say that's accurate because I'm standing here on the ground and I'm shooting about 30 feet over there, maybe 20, 25, but it goes a pretty good distance, which I'm impressed. Day 2, no significant change from day 1. I can still see on the siding the different, I don't know, black stuff, green stuff, whatever. This is day 2 after spraying Wet and Forget. It's been 1 week since I sprayed the Wet and Forget, and you can still see there's some of this black stuff that's on the side, and the green stuff is just about gone. but there's just a little bit of this black stuff that we're still looking at. Hopefully it'll go away within the next week or so. We'll see. We'll keep checking in on it. This is 2 weeks after I treated with Wet and Forget. And to be honest with you, I forgot about it. But look, it's not any better than it was earlier, at least a week ago. That black stuff is still on there pretty good. It's not green, but I can definitely still see the black marks that are on here. Now it says in a month or so I'm able to reapply, but this doesn't seem to work very fast. 3 weeks have now gone by, and you can still see that there's some of the black markings on there. Let's see if I can zoom in. You can still see that, right? In another week or so is when it tells me I'm allowed to start reapplying. The green is gone, but this black stuff is still on there. It's getting lighter, I will give it that. It's gotten lighter since the first, but I could still see it. So in another week, if that's still there, I will do another application. The product does say if after a month or two you still have some black stuff on it, and that's what stays the longest, right? That black mold part, that you might have what's called stubborn stains and you need to reapply. I would love, though, to hear from you. What are your thoughts so far of Wet and Forget? Have you used this? Would you recommend this? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. It looks as though we've got some stubborn stains, so 1 month later, we're going to reapply. Now that we've reapplied for a second time, we'll check in on this every week to see if these stubborn stains will go away. I'm zoomed in here, week 5. Like back in week 4, all the green is gone, but there's definitely still some of the black residue. This is a week after I treated it for a second time. Here we are at week 6, and you can definitely tell things have gotten better. There's still a little bit of, I guess it's brown on there now. It used to be black. Let's see if I can zoom there. It looks a whole lot better, so I expect in a week or so, this thing should be cleaned up. Here we are at the end of week 8. And it looks as though it's clean. It only took 2 months. Now I still see a little mark here or there, but I think that'll fade too. But 2 months later, and we are finally cleaned. All right, so I want to take you through my 8-week journey of using this product called Wet and Forget. 8 weeks, 2 months time is how long it took for me to get my siding clean using this. I will say that Wet and Forget is a bleach-free formula, and I know that's important to a lot of people. So this does not use any kind of bleach in there, and that's why it takes the time that it takes. Mold Armor has bleach in it, and this does not. All right, so when I first noticed that, I was like, whoa, that is nasty and disgusting. I went and picked up some of this Wet and Forget, and I sprayed it on, and it looked like it soaped it up. I'm like, wow, this is going to clean up real nice. It's already soaping up. So after day 1, I came and checked, and I was kind of disappointed, right? Because there was still a lot of mess there. I will say the green was fading quickly and almost pretty well dissipated, and just the mildew stains were still there. And after week 1 and week 2, those got lighter and lighter and lighter. By the time I got to week 4, the end of week 4, it was still there, and I just wanted this thing to speed up the process, so I applied it again. I will say, just the side of my house, I use the entire 48-ounce bottle on the side of that house, just cleaning it up. And then week 5, week 6, week 7, finally we got to week 8, and it looked almost pristine. There were some markings that I could still see, but I'm actually pretty happy with it. Like I said before, I will leave a link in the description if this is something that interests you. This was Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of Wet and Forget. I'm going to tell you this. I didn't tell this in the video, but it says it works on bricks, vinyl, cement, wood, roofing, all roofing, stucco, pavers, concrete, composite wood, and more. It works on a lot of surfaces, and it's probably because it doesn't have that bleach. So in this video, I referenced my mold armor review. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that review video right here. If you haven't seen it, I would love it if you clicked on it right here. And even if you have seen it, I would love it if you clicked on it, because you can compare the two products that way. So I'm going to post it right here, and I will see you over that video. Go ahead, click it. It's safe. I promise.